Alright, so in this video I want to talk about my year-to-date return in my Questrade accounts, my margin, my TFSA, and my RSP. So starting off with my margin, if you watched my video last month, I was actually down more than 100% on my margin account because in May, market went through a small correction. I ended up with zero equity, negative equity actually, for the month of May in my margin account. So obviously when the market recovered, everything went back to normal. So my opening balance year to date in my margin account is $9,571. I made a deposit of $1,975, but I withdrew $65.58. So deposits and withdrawals. And then the change in balance is basically the gains or the losses I made with whatever balance I had in my margin account. So that's my change in balance. And my closing balance is $84.46 for the month of May. So with Questrade's calculated return, my year-to-date return in my margin account is 57.2%. So that can easily be explained by the fact that I'm actually, when I have, let's say my balance is $5,000, my equity is $5,000, I'm actually using more than $5,000 to trade with, and any profit I make on that extra money that I'm borrowing gets added to my equity. Same thing if it's a loss, it gets removed from my equity. That's why for the month of May I was down 100%, but when the market came back up again, as you can see, I'm back up to 57.2% year to date for my margin account. You can see here that 23% of my margin account is in NVIDIA, 13% is in Western Digital, 10% is in Micron. So the first three, as you can see, they're all in the chip sector. Then 8.7% is in Kraft Heinz, 8% is in United States Steel, 6.9% is in Six Flags, 6.4% is in Bristol Myers, 5.4% is in Weight Watchers, and 4.9% is in Box. So you can see that, you know, they're all pretty big names, pretty quality stocks, companies that are not going to disappear. Maybe Weight Watchers is not that great, but I mean the rest are all stocks you're comfortable owning. And obviously with these stocks that I buy, I sell call options against them. So for the month of June, just in dividends, I received $202 Canadian, and combined year to date in my margin account received $633 in dividends. Now interest paid for just the month of June paid $687 Canadian in interest, and for year to date it paid about $27.89 Canadian in interest in my margin account. So you might think this is a big amount. Well, when I'm borrowing money to trade, I'm selling a call option against it right away. So the call premium that I'm collecting is always higher than the interest that I'm paying. So that's how I justify this interest expense. All right, so now in my TFSA account, my opening balance was $5,500. I made deposits of $41,000. I withdrew $266, but the change in balance, as you can see for the year to date, is at negative $2,900. So I'm actually down in my TFSA year to date in terms of returns. So yeah, so my year to date in my TFSA is 9.7%, a negative 9.7%. But the current month, so the month of June alone, is 4%, but my year to date is a negative 9.7%, and I care more about the year to date. So in my TFSA, 26% was Square, 12% was American Airlines, 10% was Teva Pharmaceuticals, so this one's down a lot, almost 50%. 8% is Kroger, 7.9% is Macy's, 7.9% is Chesapeake Energy, 7.3% is Sprint, which I just sold today, 5% is Afria, and 4% is Bed Bath & Beyond. So this is just for the month of June, and obviously I am selling call options on all these stocks. And for dividends, for the month of June in my TFSA, collected $17 Canadian, but year to date collected $227 Canadian. It's kind of fun to receive dividends because I sort of forget about them, and then when you see that how much you've received in dividends, it accumulates pretty quickly. It's nice to get them, especially when you're not expecting them. And finally, in my RSP account, so this one I think is going to be bad as well. Yeah, so my opening balance is $18,400. I didn't do any transaction at all this year in my RSP. No deposits, no withdrawals. Usually it's not a good idea to make withdrawals from an RSP because you're gonna get hit with high fees. It's $50 every time you withdraw from your RSP. So really avoid withdrawing from your RSP unless it's really last resort. And if you will, try to withdraw a big amount so it justifies the $50 fee. So yeah, my change in balance is a negative 600. So as you can see, I'm losing money in my RSP. So my year to date in my RSP is a negative 3%. So not good, but better than my TFSA. But I've got a big holding in my RSP that's killing me, which is Novavax. I spent over $6,000 on Novavax and it's down like 80%. So that's a big mistake I made just because I got greedy with the call premiums that I collected. They were very high, but it backfired because the stock itself dropped 80%, even though I collected almost 40% in call premiums. All right, so currently for the month of June, my biggest holding is Yeti at 22%, and then I've got L Brands at 20%, Vodafone at 15%, so ACB at 12%, Dividend 15 Split Corp at 8%, Honda at 7.9%, Novavax at 7.1%, and Financial 15 Split at 5.8%. So Yeti I'm most likely going to get rid of in July. If not, I'm going to sell another call option against it because it's currently trading near my strike price. L Brand, same thing. I'm probably going to sell another call option against. Vodafone is something I'm holding for a while right now because it dropped a lot. ACB dropped a lot as well. I bought it at 10 and I think it's trading at in the $6. So it's a little problematic for me right now. Not doing so great in my RSP. At least I have these ones here paying dividends monthly. So the FTN and the DFN. Honda Motors terrible as well. I mean, I love the car, love the product, but the stock isn't doing anything for me. So I'm even considering selling it at a loss just to use the money towards something else. And of course, Novavax is just terrible. I just can't sell and take the 80% loss. I think it's going to be like a $4,000 loss US. So I don't want to confirm that loss. So I'm just holding on to it. Maybe, who knows, something happens. I mean, it is a pharma company, so anything can happen. It might jump up like crazy. So I'm still holding on to it, but it was definitely a bad investment. And it was because I was greedy. And I didn't keep my position size small. I mean, I put a lot into it and I knew that it was too much. But I said to myself, if I'm collecting almost 40% in call premiums, that means for me to break even, the stock has to drop 40%. So I'm like, what are the odds that the stock would drop 40%? That's, it's very hard for a stock to drop 40% in 1 month or 1 day. But that's exactly what happened. It dropped more than 60, 70%. So that's why you should always keep your positions small because you never know what could happen. And obviously stay away from the risky stuff if you want to sleep well at night. So dividends, I got about $106 for the month of June. So that's great. Probably most of it is probably L Brands. And for the month, for my year to date in my RSP, got $436 in dividends Canadian. That's actually pretty good. I mean, in all my accounts combined, that's not a bad amount of dividends without even noticing. So just wanted to share with you my year to date return. I like to look at this monthly. I like the Questrade statements that are provided every month, although they take time to come out. I mean, they just came out yesterday or 2 days ago. So they came out almost 15 days after the month ended. But I like how it summarizes everything. So if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. And check out the referral links in the description below the video. Thanks for watching.